So let's start with the market basket analysis with the retail online data. Now this data set is for a retail outlet which wants to analyze whether what is the kind of association with different products. So let's start the market basket analysis with ML Extend. Now ML Extend is a library which is specifically used for the purpose of market basket analysis. So the first thing that we have to do is to run it. Now first let me just clear this output from this. So let us clear that first. Now after that we'll just run one by one. Here of course nothing is there. Now we are going to install this pandas ML Extend. Now if you have not installed earlier, then you can definitely install it. Otherwise, if you install, there's no need to do it again. So let us see how it is installed. So we run it because it's a big library, so it takes some time. Now since in my laptop it is already installed, so requirement already satisfied, etc. has come, and it has not taken that much of time also. So after that it is also giving a warning that pip version 20.2.4 is now available, as I am having an earlier version, which is not a issue. Then we have to import all the required libraries. Now these libraries are pandas, ML Extend, and from that we have to import also a priori and then association rules, because that is required and that is what our objective is. So let us do that also. Then let us also import the data set. Now the data set that we are going to import is like retail underscore OL. OL means online.csv. Now this has been given with the encoding Latin 1. Now this Latin 1 has been added because so that the character set sometimes may be different, and you can also use it for different languages, maybe Germany or German or maybe French or something like that. So it can be universally acceptable. Then the low memory that also you are seeing, which you have not seen earlier, but now this has also been added because this data set is fairly big, so it may give some problem. So that is why this is also taken. Other things are same. So you can have a data frame with pd.read CSV, and then of course your complete data set, which is in the location where it is installed. So you can run it again and get that also imported. Then this is the explanation of that Latin 1, also called ISO 88591, is an 8-bit character set endorsed by the International Organization for Standardization and represents the alphabet of Western European languages. As its name implies, it is a subset of ISO 8859, which includes several other related sets for writing systems like Cyrillical, Hebrew and Arabic. It is used by most Unix systems as well as Windows, DOS, Mac OS, however, use their own sets. So that is the reason, that is the purpose of which I have already explained earlier. Now we can run this also. Then we are going to, since we already imported the data, so we can check the first top 5 records of the data set, which is like this: invoice number, stock code, description, quantity, invoice date, unit price, etc., etc. So all those details are available to you. The country also to which it has been sold or exported or whatever. Then we want to know at least some more details about the data set. So we can run this also. So we can get that the total number of rows are 5,41,909 rows and 8 columns. So you can see that these are the columns which are there, and of course rows are there. So that means they're fairly big file. So that also we can see. Then info also you can run here. See that what is the type of data it is. That is invoice number. It is object type. Stock code is object type. This is integer type quantity. This is float type unit price. So like that. So this is again, as I told earlier also, that this is something which is very important that we must know about our data which we are going to use. Then describe, you are going to get some kind of a statistics about the data. That is, what is the count like, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25% percentile, 50%, 75%, and max. So all these statistical information is also available. Then the data types, that also can be checked here with this command, that is invoice number, object, and description, quantity, etc., etc. So all these details are also available to us, so we can check it. This is all again data exploration. Now we are going to check, do some kind of a cleanup. So there is a little cleanup we need to do. First, some of the descriptions have spaces that need to be removed. We'll also drop the rows that don't have invoice numbers and remove the credit transactions, those with invoice numbers containing C. So these are some of the problems that is that is possible, or that we know that it might be there. So it is better to take care of that. So then how to do that? You can see df description, description string strip, and then drop na, and that is not a number. Axis is 0, that is x-axis. Subset invoice number in place true. So you can remove that particular, wherever you find that it is not a, it is, there is no information there. There is no data. Then df invoice number, and then as type strip string, and then df then invoice number string contains C. If it contains C, then also, so this again we can run it. So when we run it, nothing will happen, but definitely the data is getting improved now. Again, after the cleaning, we need to consolidate the items into one transaction per row with each product, one hot coded. For the sake of keeping the data set small, I'm only looking at sales for France. So we are only right now considering for sales to France. However, in an additional code below, I'll compare these results to sale from Germany. Further country comparisons could be interesting to investigate. So this is again, this explanation has been given just so that what is our objective, what are we trying to do. So now we can go for checking the basket that is there. So basket can be here, since we are checking for France, so we have considered France. Basket is equal to df. This syntax which is mentioned here is something which you have to very specifically understand. So this is something which you have to repeatedly keep on working on that and try and learn all these things. Group by, how this is to be grouped, invoice number, description, quantity, then sum, unstack, reset, index, then fill NA, and then invoice number. So when we run this, you can see that again nothing will happen, but certainly we have further improved it, or heading towards our objective. Then here's what the first few columns look like. Note I added some numbers to the columns to illustrate the concept. The actual data in this example is all zeros. Now we are going to check for the basket head, that now after collecting all that, this pre-processing that we have done, how the data looks like. So for that we write this command like basket.head, and when we run it, then we are going to get this kind of output. So that means whatever we wanted to do with the data, with our knowledge and requirement, we have done all that, and now we are getting the details of that basket. So description, color space boy pen, then party balloons, whatever was there, then accordingly this has been collected, pre-processed and presented. So these are the various invoice numbers. Then here we are seeing these things 0, 0, 0. Now there are a lot of zeros in the data, but we also need to make sure any positive values are converted to 1, and anything less than the 0 is set to 0. So anything that you find which is abnormal or which is not as per our expectation, definitely we have to take some action, and here we are making it 0. This step will complete the one hot encoding of the data and remove the postage column. Since the change is not one we wish to explore, so then we can again run that. Then here we can see that def encode units x. If x is less than 0, then return 0. If x is greater than or equal to 1, return 1. Basket sets is basket dot apply map encode units. Basket set drop postage in place true. X is 1. So we can run that also, and after doing the necessary processing, though no output is visible, but then it has done what was required. Now that the data is structured properly, we can generate frequent item sets that have a support of at least 7%. This number was chosen so that I could get enough useful examples. So that is the reason. So that is why this explanation sometimes becomes very important. And it's also important because with the passage of time we tend to forget it. But whenever we need it, and we can open the program and then we can understand it. That is the purpose. So again run it. Again it has done this, whatever was mentioned here. Then we can go for the making rules. Now the final step is to generate the rules with their corresponding support, confidence and fit lift. So it is very important too, because this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted, and the rules can be created with the help of the association rules. Frequent item sets, metric is left, lift, and main threshold is equal to 1. So rules head. Now we can go for the printing the rules. So we can run it, and we can see that these are antecedent, means that those which have been done previously, then consequences, that means afterwards, and antecedent support means that this has been done after understanding these two. So consequent support, confidence, lift, all these things are coming with our objective. Now it is important that before, that is why understanding of the data is very important, number one, and what is our objective, that also is very important. So here we are talking about the alarm clock in different colors. What are the colors which that particular country, like here we are talking of the France, where we are exporting it. So we want to know that, yes, we want to see that all those data related to the order requirement we are going to mention here. We are going to take care of that. Now that's all there is there's to it. And build the frequent items using a priori, then build the rules with association rules. Now the tricky part is figuring out that what this tells us. For instance, we can see that there are quite a few rules with a high lift value, which means that it occurs more frequently than would be expected. Given the number of transactions and product combinations, we can also see several where the confidence is high as well. This part of the analysis is where the domain knowledge will come into play. So it's very important that the domain knowledge is very important. So since I do not have that, I'll just look for a couple of illustrative examples, right? Because it's not necessary. As an analyst, it is better if you have the domain. That is why the relevant analyst should be available, who is going to actually verify the results. Otherwise, not everybody can analyze or interpret all those results. So rules is equal to lift greater than or equal to 6, and second rule is confidence greater than 0.8. So then we can run this also, like first we run this, then we are going to run this also, and then we are getting this. Now you can see that the result that we got earlier, and now again we got this result. There is some kind of a similarity in this. Like here we are getting the alarm clock, then what is the various other things that we wanted to check. All such things would be available to you in this. Then in looking at the rules, it seems that the green and the red alarm clocks are purchased together. Now these are the kinds of interpretations that you can check. Here, of course, after understanding, we have tried to put it in this remark column. So purchased together, and the red paper cups, napkins and plates are purchased together in a manner. Now these are the associations that we need to find out. Purchased together, that means there is some association, that is why it has been purchased. Similarly, here also, red paper cups, napkins and plates are purchased together. Again, there is some kind of association in a manner that is higher than the overall probability would suggest. This point, you may want to look at how much opportunity there is to use the popularity of the one product to drive sales of another. For instance, we can see that we sell 340 green alarm clocks, but only 360, 316 red alarm clocks. So there is a difference. That means here we are selling 340 and 316. So what is that relation? Clocks. So maybe we can drive more red alarm clock sales through the recommendations. So that means now, because it has sold lesser, so what should be done? So we can revise our strategy so that we can improve the sale of red alarm clocks also. Now this is what for our understanding. This is of course the result that we have got 340 and 316 different colors of alarm clocks, and then you can see the result as 316. Then what is also interesting is to see how the combination vary by country. I mean, different countries you may find the different combinations. It's not that like France may wants more green and red, maybe the Germany may need something else. So let's check out what some popular combination might be in Germany. Like here you can see. Then again, now this is the code for that. Basket 2 is equal to DF country. Now here we are taking Germany. Group by, the code is same as we have seen earlier. Invoice number, description, quantity, then sum. You have to be very particular about the punctuation part, that dot or smaller bracket or square bracket. These things are very important, and there generally I've seen that people do make mistakes. So, and this with practice, of course, you'll keep on improving, but you should learn it. So basket is equal to set 2 is equal to basket 2, apply map and code units, then basket set 2 drop postage in place 2. This is here we are dropping it, and on access 1, and frequent item set 2, a priori basket sets 2, minimum support 0.05, use column names is equal to true, and rules 2, association rules, frequent items 2, metric lift 2. So and this when we run, you can see that we have got this as a output from this, and we can say that yes, this is something which is as per our expectation. And here you can see the really nice aspect of association analysis is that it is easy to run and relatively easy to interpret. Right? It is quite, because once you get and you have the background, you know you have the knowledge of your own area. So you when you see the result, you can definitely will be able to interpret it properly. So ML extend is very useful in this type of an association analysis. Otherwise, it would be difficult to find these patterns which we have seen. So it is because of this library ML extend that we have imported in the beginning itself that has helped us to do it job in such a easy manner. And the analysis process is relatively straightforward. So very easily we have been able to do it. Otherwise, if you start writing code, I don't know how many pages of code you have to write. So this completes our market basket analysis. Thank you.